Thank you to the Jazz Ensemble. Welcome to this worship service at the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Shelter Rock. All are welcome here. I am the Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore, and I minister here to this congregation along with the Reverends David Carl Olson, the Reverend Israel Bufardi, and this year's student minister, Madison Colquitt, all here on the chancel. In this congregation, we seek to create loving religious community, to encourage spiritual growth, and to build a more just and joyful world. We seek to restore the balance of our spirits, to celebrate the joys of life, and to find strength to meet our sorrows together. Unitarian Universalism is a religious tradition which embraces the wisdom found in all faiths. We value diversity. We believe in using science, reason, and the many gifts of the Spirit to explore life's meaning and its many mysteries. We believe you need not think alike to love alike. In honor of Native American History Month, we remember that this beautiful and bountiful land on which this congregation rests is the ancestral land of the Madincock people of Manhasset Bay and the people of the Shelter Rock. This worship service celebrates the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, and we explore our worship theme, the practice of repair, this month. All are welcome to our many, many events and activities here in this congregation. You're also welcome to do nothing but sit together in love and companionship, and perhaps to walk the grounds and take part in the beauty which we are so blessed to have among us. But if you want an activity, we got a lot of those too. So please see our newsletter or website for a listing of our ongoing programs, and I want to lift up some of them for you today. We have a Love at the Center book talk at 12:30 in the Art Gallery, and I'll be leading that. Please join our Welcoming Pathways conversation in RE Room 15 at 1 o'clock with Reverend Bufardi. Today is the last day to give to the community-based holiday dinner, to our turkey drive. Please see the table in the lobby. Next Sunday, December 1st, is the last day for the mitten tree gifts. I know it seems very early, but next Sunday is December 1st. So pick up a mitten if you haven't from the tree in the lobby. On December 1st, we will also commemorate World AIDS Day with a worship service led by Reverend Olson. The women's group will host a holiday sale on December 8th, so get ready. They have a great sale. And as always, each Sunday after service, we have a lunch for a small fee. If you are visiting today, you are our guest. And I especially want to invite you to our annual Messiah Sing on December 8th here in the worship room at 1:30. It's a big community event I know that you will all enjoy. And so now, let us worship together, beginning with our chalice lighting.
We welcome the Severin family to light our chalice this morning. We light our chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. This is a faith of the open mind. This is a faith of the loving heart. This is a faith of the helping hands. Together, we take care of our earth and work for peace and friendship in our world.
please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 360, in the gray hymnal, Here We Have Gathered.
Take a breath. Please remain standing, and let us say together our words and sing our song of affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. Together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need. This do we affirm and covenant with each other. From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of faith and hope arise. Let peace goodwill on earth be sung through every land, by every tongue. Big breath. Let it out. And please be seated.
As you may know, as is our tradition, each Sunday we hand out a guest at your table box. So they come flat like this. Your job is to open them, make them into an actual box, and put them on your table. The guests at your table boxes come from the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. The Service Committee began by helping refugees from Nazi occupation and then displaced people after World War II. Today, the UU Service Committee continues to put our values into action by assisting those in need around the world. So when you take this Guest at Your Table box and you put it on your table and put a donation in the box when you sit for a meal, take that time to remember those who are in need and to share your bounty with them. Now, of course, you may think that your one small donation from your one little box will not make a difference in the world where there is so much need. But I can assure you that it will, that it does. So let me tell you a story about another time when a small act made a big difference. It was 1931, and Marie was in the 4th grade in her school in Cameroon. Do you know where Cameroon is? Cameroon is a nation in West Central Africa. If you sailed across from Long Island, across the ocean, West Africa is the first part of Africa you would touch. So they're our neighbors across the ocean. Marie was a very happy child. She had a really loving family, and she loved school. How many of you love school? Maybe like school? Okay, great. Love school? She loved school. And the reason she loved school was because she had a great teacher. Her teacher was very kind. He was a really good teacher. And his name was Robert. And he was from the United States. Robert told all his students about America. The students, like Marie, loved his stories because America was so very different than where they lived. In America, there were lots of big cities, and there were tons of people, all sorts of people. You couldn't know everybody, there were so many people. While Marie lived in a very small village, a very happy but poor village. Most of the people were farmers on small plots of land. And in her village, everybody knew everybody. The United States of America seemed like an exciting paradise, an adventure full of wonderful things and all sorts of different people. And it was a country that could give a teacher to a small village in Cameroon so that Marie could grow up with an education. But one day in 1931, Marie's teacher, Robert, came to class with a very, very sad face. Robert sat the children down around him in the classroom, and he explained to them that there was something terrible happening in the U.S. In his very own hometown of New York City, there was a Great Depression. People had lost their jobs and their homes. People were very hungry. Robert had read in the newspaper that there were so many hungry people that 20 people had been reported starved to death in New York City. Marie was so sad. New York City had been generous enough to send her a teacher. What could she do to help New York City and the people there? So Marie went home after school, and she told her mother about the troubles in New York. She asked her mother how her small village might help the big city. And her mother said, "Oh, Marie, I'm sad too. But the village here is very poor, and the big city is so far away." Marie was heartbroken, but she had to find a way to help. So she organized her friends, and they spoke to their parents, and she worked on a fundraiser for a donation. She worked very hard, but still all she was able to collect was 1 coin. On the day that Marie was to give her 1 coin to the teacher, she was determined, but also embarrassed. It wasn't enough. She knew it wasn't enough. Still, she stepped forward to offer her 1 coin. And then there was a knock at the door. And there stood Marie's mother, the other mothers of the village, and the leaders of the village council. They had taken a collection. They had taken a collection too, and they came to present all that they had to send to New York. Marie was now so happy and proud. Now, of course, the money was not enough to change lives in New York. But the story was told in newspapers across the United States and inspired generosity and charity by others. And if you go today to the New York Times online news archives, you can read about the day in 1931 when the New York Relief Fund received the gift of $3.77, a fortune from the people of Cameroon.
Each Sunday, we take a special collection to support nonprofit groups that serve human need. This week's offering will provide support to 2 organizations, the North Shore Soup Kitchen and the AIDS Center of Queens County. The North Shore Soup Kitchen is a not-for-profit, volunteer-based organization established in 1989 to feed hungry people in the Glen Clove area. UUCSR has supported the North Shore Soup Kitchen for decades. The AIDS Center of Queens County has grown to become the largest provider of HIV and AIDS services in the borough of Queens, serving over 10,000 HIV-positive clients and 30,000 community residents in 5 sites throughout the borough. For many years, UUCSR has supported ACQC at Thanksgiving and at Christmas with the Mitten Tree. Ways to give are listed in your order of service and on the screens. Please give and give generously as you are able.
Will you join your hearts with mine in a moment of meditation and prayer? These are words of Rabindranath Tagore. Today, the peace of autumn pervades the world. In the radiant noon, silent and motionless, the wide stillness rests. Like a tired bird, spreading over the deserted fields to all horizons, its wings of golden green. Today, the thin thread of a river flows without song, leaving no mark on its sandy banks. The many distant villages bask in the sun, with eyes closed, in idle and languid slumber. In the stillness I hear in every blade of grass, in every speck of dust, in every part of my own body, in the visible and invisible worlds, in the planets, the sun and the stars, the joyous dance of the atoms through endless time. Thank you, Tagore. May we, in our present time, know and share the joyous dance of atoms, know and share the unspeakable wonder of gathering together. As the grains of the field are gathered to become bread, so are we gathered. As our feeding of each other, parent to child, child to elder, sibling to sibling, all of us able to feed, to nourish, to strengthen, to encourage, all of us hungry, and all of us growing in awareness of those around us. Blessed space, right here. Blessed world, blessed nation, blessed city, blessed neighborhood, blessed home. Blessed moment, right now. Blessed time ahead, blessed time beyond time, blessed eternity. Oh, mystery, reveal yourself to us in our happy and holy living. All the days of our people, all the days of our life, all the songs of our people, all the songs of our life. Amen.
Our reading today is by Sue Ann Gleason, and it is entitled, Ask Me. Ask me for the measure of starter and water in a loaf of sourdough bread, how to gently pull the dough across the surface of a marble slab, folding it like an envelope, so that the gluten strengthens slowly and with intention. Ask me how those loaves of sourdough kept my hands steady and my mind occupied on days that fear and anxiety rose as exponentially as the starter. Ask me about my grandmother's kitchen, the sound of onions sizzling in a cast iron skillet, the smell of garlic, the shape of her hands chopping vegetables, teasing pie crusts over hints of cinnamon-soaked apples. Ask me about candles on countertops, how she lit those candles daily and prayed to patron saints, the depth of her faith reflected in the whisper-thin pages of her prayer book, and the 7 children she raised in the midst of the Great Depression. Ask me about the sound of her voice praying the rosary in Italian, and how that became a lullaby, singing me to sleep. Ask me about breakfast in her home, thick slabs of toasted bread slathered with cinnamon butter and smiles. Ask me about my grandfather's breakfast, the crunch of cornflakes, the tap, 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 tap of spoon on the delicate shell of a hard-boiled egg. How we swirled the remaining milk in the bowl with the last drop of thick, dark coffee from his cup. And if my memory serves me here, a shot of whiskey to warm his belly for a day digging ditches, the price he paid to live in America. Ask me about the garden out back, how in summer months it resembles the one my grandfather tended. Sun-ripened tomatoes, basil, and beans. How every morsel in my kitchen, from sourdough loaves to the slow simmer of tomato sauce, is the love language of my grandmother's hands.
Simplicity is
It's a bread ceremony. I'm going to get my bread, excuse me. Here we go. Bread is the staff of life. Bread represents the diversity of the human family. There are as many forms of bread as there are cultures. Jewish challah bread, Irish soda bread, Middle Eastern pita bread, Native American fry bread, breads we share with one another. Bread is a sign of human community. Breaking bread together and sharing, it is an act of generosity and of friendship. It is embedded in the word companion, the roots of which mean to share bread with. Bread invites us to be grateful for all the gifts of life. Every time we eat, we can give thanks to those who plow the fields, sow the seeds, cultivate and gather the harvest, combine the ingredients, bake and serve us our daily bread, and all the food which sustains our lives. We are reminded to honor the earth and every member of the human family. We can never be fully satisfied as long as anyone goes hungry, and we will never be fully human until our table is big enough to include everyone.
We all need bread. We all need nourishment. We can think of all the many ways in which we can be nourished and the many ways that we can make sure that others are also nourished. We can contribute to food drives for the hungry and homeless here on Long Island. We can put money in the guest at your table boxes over the next month. We can welcome someone to our Thanksgiving tables who might otherwise eat alone. And that special guest at your Thanksgiving table may well have set before them your special bread. Bread which represents a sample of your many traditions which make up the fabric of this, our Unitarian Universalist faith, and of this, our Shelter Rock community. This bread is at once a symbol of what we have to give and in sharing what we receive from others. Those of you who have brought bread to share this morning are invited to gather in a line here up the ramp. Please leave space between each other and then come to the microphone in turn. This microphone is set for adults and this one for children or shorter people. Choose the mic which is right for your height. Get close, speak slowly and clearly, and tell us the story of your bread. Then move and place the bread here on a common table and come down this aisle back to your seat. After the service, everyone is invited to share the bread together in the social hall. Let us begin. Please come forward.
I brought English muffins to represent my grandpa because he ate them a lot and he really liked them.
Cinnamon raisin bread. We love it.
Maybe I should use this one. So I have samosas, little tiny pastry samosas, which are a staple of every Desi family gathering. And they're not technically bread, but they're spicy, crispy pastry. Enjoy.
So we brought chocolate chip banana muffins because we always buy 6 bananas, eat 3, and the other 3 end up being brown. So we figure out what to do with the waste, and it's become a tradition the last 3 months of our lives. And the secret is throw the extra chips in.
I brought a panettone because my mom's family is Italian. It's kind of a tradition to give these out in the holiday season to people we love. It's kind of a connection and friendship thing.
I brought ciabatta bread because I'm Italian, and yeah.
We brought apple bread with an apple cider glaze because we got too many apples from the CSA.
I'm bringing babka, which is an Eastern European bread in honor of the best thing that happened in our life, was the adoption of our children from Eastern European orphanages.
And I brought sourdough bread in honor of my father who made sourdough. Of course, I don't have the starter anymore, but I do have a sourdough bread that's supposed to be from Soho, so thank you.
I just finished helping to teach a naturalization course here at Shelter Rock. And so it was a very joyful experience being with our wonderful immigrants. As a result of that, I wanted to express my gratitude to our country for accepting my 4 Southern Italian grandparents in the early 1900s to be accepted among the poor, the hungry, and the tired. Thank you.
I brought 3 different types of bread. I'm just amazed that I remembered to do that. So to celebrate my Swiss heritage with pumpernickel, my Finnish heritage with rye bread, and my Swedish heritage with breadsticks. And I also have an ingredient, a thing up here that's not bread. It's licorice, black licorice. I found out when I visited Sweden years ago that they have a fascination with black licorice, similar to our fascination with chocolate. It comes in wafers, salted, unsalted, twist sticks, chunks. It is amazing, the variety. The only kind that I could find are black licorice sticks, though. So enjoy.
Buongiorno. I'm representing my Italian heritage, and yesterday I took a course on prosciutto bread making. So you're getting to taste my first efforts in this, and we'll see how it goes.
Hi, I brought pumpkin bread, which has always represented Thanksgiving, and it started out as a fundraiser for the North Shore Soup Kitchen. There's a mini mart in the fall, and I'm just so thankful that I can share it with you today, because also today you've been doing a collection for the Soup Kitchen for the last few months. Thank you.
So I brought Irish butter because we all know that butter makes the bread. And speaking of the generosity of Native Americans, there is a statue in Ireland commemorating when Native Americans took up a collection and sent it to Ireland when they were suffering so from the Great Depression, and also when they were coming in droves to this country to escape. Oh, did I say Great Depression? No. The terrible famine, which was before the Great Depression. It was in the 18-something or others. And I do not know where in Ireland this statue is commemorating when the Native Americans generously gave to the people starving in Ireland, but You can look it up. There is a beautiful statue. And yeah, hooray for those Native Americans. And Irish butter.
Hi. For our family birthday celebrations when I was growing up, my mother always offered that she would make from scratch 2 different cakes. The choices were the German chocolate cake with its luscious, delicious frosting with coconut and pecans, or she would make the orange cake from a recipe that had been in her family for many generations. So when it came to my birthday, she'd say, well, which cake would you want me to make? And I'd say, I want that luscious German chocolate cake. And my mother would say, don't you want the orange cake? And I would say, no. And then she said, the cake that's been in the recipe that's been in my family for generations? And I'd say, no. And she'd say, well, why? And I'd say, because I don't like it. And I would acquiesce because she would sort of mother guilt me, and so I would have the orange cake, and I never really liked it. So I was thinking yesterday, what am I going to make for today? I have learned how to make bread. I have made bread for many decades from my mother. And I thought, well, I'm looking through, and then I realized I have no yeast. So I said, okay, I'll make some muffins. So I'm looking through the recipes, and lo and behold, there's a recipe that I've never made, and I have all the ingredients, the yogurt and the orange. It's orange muffins. So I have made, as a tribute to my mother, I have made orange muffins for today.
My favorite bread is cinnamon raisin bread, and the other one is Persian lavash that you have to take it only with a fried egg.
Me and my parents always make banana bread. Basically, it's been a tradition for years now, and my mom makes it like whenever I have a birthday coming up. Yeah.
We made banana bread, and it's gluten-free because I'm allergic to gluten. And
Yes, we made it this morning, and it's for anyone that is allergic to gluten, because we live in a restricted household due to allergies, and so that's important for anybody. If you'd like this, it's open for anybody.
I brought artisan bread. I brought artisan bread.
This is a cinnamon bread. It reminds me of my mother's baking. Excuse me. Did I say gingerbread? I think I said cinnamon bread. No. Gingerbread. Spicy.
Everyone in this congregation is Italian. I feel so unoriginal. In 1924, 100 years ago, my great-grandmother, Orlando LaQuaglia, immigrated to the U.S. from Avellino, Italy. She was a working woman, a bank teller. She did not like to cook, was not really a fan of bread. So to say that it was inspired by her is only insofar as it's Italian bread. But we made some focaccia, and one is with olives and the other is without. So if you don't like olives, there's focaccia without olives.
Hi, like many others, we made banana bread. It's just something fun we can do with a 4-year-old, or I think we started when she was 2, but yeah.
Another paisan. La mia famiglia viene dall'Italia. My family comes from Italy, northern Italy, all four of them. I adopted this prayer from my friend Tony Caruso Hoke, who I met here 40 years ago in this congregation, which was located on Plandom, but still I think of her from here. She used to sit right up there. Noi abbiamo la musica, we have music. Noi abbiamo il mare, we have the sea. Noi abbiamo pane, we have bread. Noi abbiamo Dio, we have God. Noi abbiamo la famiglia e amici, we have family and friends. Noi abbiamo amore, we have love. Noi abbiamo tutto, we have everything.
What a bounty. A reading, a poem of thankfulness by Nathan Spoon. Today I am thankful for morning frost, touched by sunlight and sparkling on lawns and fields. I am thankful too for you and the warmth provided to my feet inside ordinary socks and shoes, and the way the music of your voice enters my ears and warms my heart, leaving this planet of our spinning, if only slightly, more easily. And I will consider how the world is good and how a lifetime is both too short and too long, and how the injured heart cannot heal. But the researchers in Sweden have discovered the muscle of our disadvantaged organ also can and does slowly replenish itself. Today, when the bigness of the sky asks whoever is standing beneath it, "Are you ready?" the gray trees drowsing and temporarily losing the last of their burnt sienna leaves will say yes. And I will say yes too. Please join us in singing Stand in Body and or Spirit. And join us in singing hymn number 1010, We Give Thanks.
And I offer these words in closing from Black Hawk, a leader of the Oglala Lakota people. And I saw the sacred hoop of my people was one of many hoops that make one circle, wide as daylight and starlight. And in the center grew one mighty flowering tree to shelter all the children of one mother and one father. And I saw that it was holy. So may it be. We extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please be seated for the postlude. Okay.